In this example, we have a graph that's given to us, so we can pick any of the points that we want to use. So in part A, we're going to identify the intercepts, the vertex, and a point. So I'm going to start with the x-intercepts. So our x-intercepts are at 2 and 6. Okay, our vertex, the lowest point on the graph, is at the point 4, -2. And then just any old point, I see the point 0, 6. And then just scanning the graph again, I see another point at 8, 6. So you could use either one of those. Those are just some plain old points. And then just want to remind you that these are both x-intercepts, which is already written, but the vertex is HK. And then the two points that we had are just x, y when you're plugging them into an equation. So then we can choose whichever form we want to use because we have the vertex and we have the x-intercept. So we could use vertex form or intercept form for this one. I'm going to show you both ways. So let's start with vertex form just because that's what we had started with in this lesson. So in vertex form, that's y equals a times x minus p times x minus q. Okay, so from here, we're going to plug in x, y, and p and q. So our y that we have, I'm going to choose 0, 6, just so that you can see that. All right, so we have y is 6. We don't know a. X is 0 minus. Now we're going to plug in our intercept. So I'm going to plug in 2. And then again, our 0 was x minus. Then I'm going to plug in our other intercept of 6. All right, now it's just a matter of simplifying. So 6 equals a times, this is -2, this is -6. So that gives us a times 12. I'm going to rewrite that as 12a. And then we're just solving for a. So divide by 12. And we get that a is 1/2. All right, so I'm going to make this a little bit smaller just so that I have room to write my equation here. All right, so in vertex form, that would be y equals 1/2 times x minus 2 because that was an x-intercept, and x minus 6 because that was an x-intercept. So that one is vertex form. Now let's do it in intercept form. Oh, I'm sorry, I just did that backwards. That was intercept form. Sorry about that. Let's just turn all of that purple and rewrite that. So this is intercept form. Let's turn that all purple just to keep things organized. Okay, now let's do it in vertex form. Sorry about that, I actually did it backwards from what I wanted to, but that's okay. So vertex form is y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. Alrighty, so now we want to look at the vertex. So our vertex is 4, -2. So we're going to use, I'm going to continue using 0, 6 just because that 0 makes things a little easier. So I'm going to use my y as 6 equals, we don't know a, and then we have x, which is 0, minus h, which is 4, squared, plus our k, which is -2. Now we can do some simplifying. So 6 equals a times -4 squared minus 2. So that gives us 6 equals a times 16 minus 2. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this as 16a. All right, now we're going to add 2 on both sides. So we get 8 equals 16a, and divide by 16. Now notice that we still get that a is 1/2, which is perfect because that's exactly what we got the last time. So that's just a way of checking to make sure that we are doing this correctly. No matter which method you use for this particular one, since we have all of those points, we should get the same thing no matter which form we use. So when we rewrite this as y equals a times x minus h was 4 squared plus k, which is going to be minus 2. All right, so now notice that these look different, but that's just because they're written in different forms. If we want to write this in standard form, all we have to do is pick one of those equations and multiply it out. So I'm going to pick the intercept form because that's already kind of expanded for me. It'll be a little bit quicker. So that's going to be y equals 1/2 times, right? Now I've got to box this out. So let's see what we would get when we do that. All right, so that's x minus 2, x minus 6. So x squared minus 2x minus 6x and plus 12. So that's x squared. Then I'm going to add or combine negative 2 minus 6 is negative 8x and then plus 12. Then we just have to multiply all of these by 1/2. So y equals 1/2 x squared minus 4x plus 6. So essentially all we did was divide everything by 2. Same thing as multiplying by 1/2, but that is our equation in standard form. So those are the 3 forms of this same graph.